All right, thank you, Peter. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Act of 2021, certain COVID-19 protection measures were extended as they relate to MGL Section 30A, Part 20, the Open Meeting Law. This meeting of the City of Westfield Conservation Commission will be conducted via remote participation. Specific information can be found on the City of Westfield website at www.cityofwestfield.org. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen to the meeting may do so by tuning into Channel 15 or Channel 12, or online at westfieldtv.org, or online at youtube.com/Westfield Community Programming Channel. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we're unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the city's website an audio recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Okay, roll call. Jim.
Here.
Carl.
Here.
Tom.
Yes, here.
Bob. Bob.
Bob.
Okay, I see him. He's here.
Here.
Cliff.
Here.
Cliff's here. Thank you. I think Alex had a family
Yep.
thing, so he's not going to be here tonight. All right, item 2. Would anyone like to address the commission on any item not on the agenda? Seeing none. Item 3, public hearings. A, 45 Stewart Place. City of Westfield replacement of existing pump station. Continued from January 25, 2020. Or 2022, excuse me. Megan, I think this is yours, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Yep, I'm here and representing Ty and Bond. I know Zach Torniak met, I believe, with Commissioner Grobe last week. So yeah, so I saw you do have some further questions after that visit on the agenda about the snow removal.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think there were just those two that sort of hadn't been resolved on site, which was where will the snow be stored when it's plowed out to allow access, and what type of ice melt will be used.
Okay. I did talk with the engineer about that. He said that they're just going to continue business as usual, like they've been maintaining it for the past few years, which from what I understood was plowing the snow out, and then with the road, like, they would just plow it like up onto the bank with the rest of the snow that they plow off the road. And then he said they usually would only use sand in that area and only ice if absolutely, or salt if absolutely necessary. So it'd be very minimal salt usage, if any at all.
Will the presence of the new cover areas, the new sort of wells, require that additional snow or is plowed, or that the snow needs to be piled somewhere else?
No, it shouldn't require any of that.
Okay. All right.
Does the new building have the same footprint as the old one?
Yes.
It does. All right, thank you. I was out there this afternoon and I didn't see any tagged trees. But you showed Carl where the trees are that you're going to take out.
I actually wasn't there. It was the actual project engineer that was out there with
Okay.
Carl. So I believe he identified all those with him.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He also explained that since the building is in reasonably good shape, that essentially what they were going to do was build a new shell around it to improve the look.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that wouldn't change the footprint appreciably.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from the commission? Seeing none. Any questions from the audience concerning this particular project? All right, seeing none, entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
So
You have a
I'll
second?
second that.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none. All in favor? Jim,
Yep.
Carl,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Thank you. All right, let's go look at the conditions. I'm gonna try to share, I think, I'm gonna try to share it, see if I can show the conditions.
Okay.
Or I can't see it.
You want me to try, David?
Yeah, I can't, so for some reason, I can't do it with this Apple Mac.
Hang on, oops. Let me see now. I need to get into share screen. I want to share here. Not right there. Can you see him?
Oh, great,
There you
thank
go.
you.
All right.
Okay. All right, you've got the scroll. Okay. All right, whoop, a little too fast. There we go. Okay, there's no SWIP involved. Deed recording. This is just a replacement, correct? So.
Right.
Okay. So we don't need that one. DEP sign, yes. Deed restriction language, probably, because it's right next to a wetland. All right, keep going. Okay, 54, there's no wildlife involved. 55, yes, applicant letter. 56, yes, contractor letter. 57, yes, excavator copy of the order of conditions. 58, construction sequence. All right, scroll up. Oops. Yeah, 59, yes, erosion controls. 60, pre-construction meeting, yes. 61, emergency contact information, yes. 62, 40-hour notice, yes. There's no Title V. There's no water quality cert. There's no markers involved. No signage involved. Go up 67. There's no comp storage. There's no basins. Tag trees. Yeah, can they get tagged before the pre-construction meeting?
Sure, yeah, definitely.
A permanent basin, 70, no. No salt zone. I guess not. I mean, there's no lawn or anything that's going there. So that's not
The
necessary.
driveway itself was reasonably flat and short.
Okay, good. All right, so 71, no, 72, no. 73, not necessary. 74, straw bales, yes. 75, yes, erosion controls. 76, yes, stockpile erosion controls. I'll keep moving. Yeah, probably 78, avoid rain. 79, there's no catch basins. So we can skip 79 and 80 and 81. There's no stormwater involved. So we can skip that section. There's no monitor involved. We can skip that section. There's no dewatering. No dredging. No replication. All right, upon completion, yes. 106, yes. Permanent stabilization. 107, yes. 108, yes. All right, next one.
Sorry, hang on. I'm trying to circle and scroll at the same
I'm sorry,
time.
I'm sorry.
No
Future-
future buyer.
Future buyer, no, I don't think so. So we don't need 110 either. We don't need 111. 112, yes. 113 bond, this is a city project. So it's the
114.
114, yes, okay.
No,
No,
115.
well, 115, you're right.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Right, any other commission like to add?
Oh, that all sounds good to me.
Okay. All right, then entertain a motion to approve the order of conditions.
So moved.
Have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Jim,
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Thank you.
Now,
Okay.
Colleen, will you send me that information?
Yes, yes, I
Okay.
will send that to you.
Okay, wonderful.
Do you want the original? I'm gonna try and get it done this week. Do you want the original mailed to you at Tie and Bond?
Yeah, could you email me a copy and then send the original?
Certainly,
Okay.
no problem.
That'd be great. Perfect.
Okay,
Okay.
Hey,
All right. Thank you,
thank you.
everyone.
thanks,
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
thanks.
Okay, item B, 70 Turnpike Industrial Road. Local ordinance only. So in accordance with the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, a public hearing will be held on February 8, 2022, 6:30 PM by virtual meeting regarding a notice of intent submitted by James Hardy Building Products, Inc., Carlos Ortiz at 70 Turnpike Industrial Road for the building and addition, expansion of the paved parking area and truck access loading areas within the buffer zone to an upgradient intermittent stream. Okay. Do we have a proponent for this project?
Yes, good evening. My name is John Tomaszewski. I'm a design engineer with Arlovec Associates. Also, I believe in attendance is Carlos Ortiz, representing James Hardy Building Products as well.
Welcome.
Thank you. Could I share my screen? Is that possible? Do you allow me to do that?
Yes.
Sure. Okay, great. So I will start with just a general overview of the existing parcel. This is the parcel in question, 70 Turnpike Industrial Road, about 32.4 acres in total. This is just a general overview of the entire site with the proposed improvements, but just to give you an idea of the scope of the work. This here, the north on the plan is straight up. This here is Turnpike Industrial Road right here, running in east-west direction. The turnpike abuts the property to the south, running in east-west direction. The existing building is right in here, large footprint. Existing parking lot is over in this area. And if you know Westfield Gas and Electric, it abuts the property to the east over here. So that's just a general overview of the entire parcel. I can now focus in on the wetland resource areas. I'll switch sheets here. So again, this is north is up on the plan. This area over here is the existing building. There's a existing emergency vehicle access road that runs around the building here. And I'll discuss a little bit about the resource areas. There is two intermittent streams related to the project. The one here begins at existing outfall located off the southwest corner of the existing building, which is the one that is only regulated by the city's wetland protection ordinance. That feeds into a bordering vegetative wetland, both on the property and what it extends into the turnpike right of way. Then there's a second sort of stretch of intermittent stream that runs in east-west direction on the turnpike right of way. And then Powder Mill Brook extends out further to the west, again, runs the mean annual high water flags were delineated in that area. I should mention Arlebeck Associates submitted an RDA back in 2019, which established all these various areas. I don't know how many of you were familiar with that, but that's that was a few years ago, like I said. So I will now switch to, actually associated with those resource areas, there's, we show on the plan a 50-foot and 100-foot wetland buffer adjacent to the wetland and this finger intermittent stream here. And then there's the inner riparian zone and 200-foot riverfront lines over in this area from the bank of the Powder Mill Brook. And this area in here right now is mostly wooded. There's some paved area where Turnpike Industrial Road used to extend. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. Hopefully you're probably maybe familiar with the site. I can sort of zoom into this area to show you what we're doing for proposed work within that buffer zone. Let's see if I can grab the sheet. So again, this is a similar area in here. This little portion here is the existing building. And then this here is the proposed building addition, a little 6,000 square feet off the west end of the building. As part of it, we'll need to extend an emergency access road, fire access road around the building. Due to some significant grade changes, a lot of the proposed work will just be involved, grading out the slope that will extend within the 100-foot wetland buffer. We are proposing a retaining wall in this area to keep all work outside of the 200-foot riverfront. And again, a lot of this proposed truck turning movement areas in here situated to avoid having to work in any of these the buffer zones or riverfront area. Stormwater will be catch basin piping to some surface infiltration basins over in this area with a overflow at grade, that will eventually reach, will head down gradient towards the brook. Again, there's more to the project to the east, not so much relevant to where we're proposing work, but I can discuss that if you'd like. Hopefully I didn't go too quickly. I don't know if anyone has any questions. I can sort of zoom in on the proposed work area if you'd like.
I've got a question now. It looks like your new access road is going to be encroaching a little bit onto the 50-foot buffer.
I can zoom in there. It's sort of in this.
Yes, right there.
Right. Yep. Right around this corner. That actually we are following the existing emergency access road that was there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same width and follows it really tight to the building, obviously, because this is a significant slope, probably in the range 2-to-1 slope. So we're putting it up on the high side and pushing out as far as we can, as close to the proposed addition to stay as far away from the wetland as possible. And then that's sort of at grade. And then once you get out to this area, will require some significant fill. As you can see, that's again, a 2-to-1 slope in there before we reach out into this area. But yes, at its closest point, it's essentially where the existing access road is at this moment.
Okay, so are you going to do anything to the existing road, or are you just going to add on to it?
We're going to add on to it there. Another part of the project is that we're going to be extending the railroad spur from the east out near Grief Way. I can flip over to this sheet here. Unfortunately, a lot of where we're working is right at the match line. This is a existing building in here. This is the south side of the building, some railroad spurs, 2 lines will be extending along the south side of the building. This will be all concrete pads for unloading and railroad cars. So, and there will be some grading in this area to accommodate those slabs or the concrete slab sections. But again, so there's a little bit more impervious within that 100-foot buffer, to get the area for the forklifts and whatnot to operate in there. So there's all of this stormwater runoff is actually going to head back and be discharged into this stormwater basin. So everything's going to grade away from the wetland.
Okay.
So there'll be no sheet flow off into the area. I'll switch over this back over here.
Right. Anyone else have questions?
I had actually a bit of a follow-up, if I may, on the extension of that railroad spur. How much of the area will be now impervious, so transitioned into concrete or whatever, along what you've labeled as the watch line? So sort of encroaching on that 100.
Yeah, it would be this. Let me, if I can zoom in a little bit more. So I don't know if you can see this line right here. That's the edge of the existing access road. And then the 2 spur lines extend into here. And this area will be concrete as well, where it is currently sort of wooded. It's disturbed, when they constructed the building originally. But the spur lines will come into about this area here. It'll be 100-foot buffer, the actual spur lines, but the concrete, so that the forklifts can have access, fully around the lines. The spur lines extends a little bit into the buffer zone.
Do you have a calculation on the square footage of area that will be converted into impervious within that 100-foot?
I'd have to check the notice. I don't have that off the top of my head.
All right, we can get that information for the next meeting. In that area where it's very steeply graded, is that steep now, or is that going to be part of the project, is to make it steep?
This portion in here is
No.
all. Oh,
I'm sorry.
over here.
No, the lower right there.
This it is. It's hard to tell because there's so many lines over there. The slope is pretty steep where it extends off the backside of the existing road. Then again, because we have to extend those rail lines, there will be a little bit of an additional fill slope there, but it'll basically mimic the existing slope that's there.
And on the upper left,
like I said, 2 to 1.
yeah, is the upper left, is that steep now, or is that going to be made steep?
It is proposed to be
Proposed.
this steep.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly the time frame of when all this was done, but it might have been done when this building was constructed. There was some significant, well, actually maybe show it on the existing conditions. Whoops. The slopes in here are pretty steep. There must have been some significant grading at the time of construction. It's now all overgrown and wooded, but these slopes over in here are not natural. They were created at the time of construction. When this outfall was constructed years ago.
So you're going to be bringing in fill to level that up with the original building?
Correct. Yeah, because the new building addition will be the same level as the existing building.
So,
and that will extend out, all the way out into this area.
I mean, that's quite a drop there.
Yeah.
Okay, other questions from the commission?
You guys want to do a site walk
Yes.
of the area? Okay.
Yeah, I think also it would help to have a calculation of the amount of fill that's being brought in there. That looks pretty significant.
For the overall project, or just the, relevant to the buffer zone work?
Well, I think it would be useful to have a total for the proposed building addition.
Okay.
Hey, John, this is Tom Sharp. Did you give consideration to, you mentioned using a retaining wall along where you're encroaching the 100 feet. Did you give consideration to a retaining wall where you're getting real close or inside the 50-foot area? The area that Chairman was pointing out before?
Well, there's actually no, the only work within the 50 is already disturbed, which is where the existing road is. All of our proposed grading is actually outside of the 50-foot buffer. So
I thought the purpose of the retaining wall was stability. Am I wrong on that? The one you're talking about further west?
This one here was to avoid any work within the 200-foot riverfront of the Powder Mill Brook. This is the 200-foot riverfront here.
Yeah.
And our proposed grading, would, if we held that 2-to-1 slope all around this edge, would have extended into the 200-foot riverfront. So we proposed the wall, obviously makes the permitting a little easier, simpler. So that's why we proposed the wall in there.
Yeah, back to the east where it's also very steep. It's labeled 2-to-1. Did it appear to be stable, or was any thought given to the future stability of that roadway?
The existing areas or the proposed?
Existing.
There are no, to my knowledge, there's no issues with any there's no stabilization issues currently. It's been this way for years.
All right, great. It'll be an interesting visit. Thank you.
Sure.
Anyone else from the commission? Since we do not have an agent to help us out with this, is the commission comfortable with looking at this without, professional help? Or should we, ask the city to get us a consultant, or have the proponent get a peer review?
I could mention that this was in front of planning last week, and they did close the public hearing and they approved the project. Carlos, does that jive with what your knowledge is as well?
Yeah, that is correct. And also we have gone through the Massachusetts EPA, the ENF application. They have reviewed the project as well, and the impervious and all the other items related to water, environmental, and everything else. And we have gone through that process. We have all that documentation as well that we can provide to you guys.
Yes, can you send the ENF to Conservation Office?
Yeah, Tom, do you have a copy of that one?
Sure, yes, I can definitely get that to you.
Okay.
Yeah, and seeing that is a local one, and it's only just one small area, perhaps we can do this on our own and not have a peer review. What's the consideration of the commission?
Dave,
Mr. Chairman, I think we look at it first, and if it looks like something that's out of our league, then I think we probably should have someone help us with that.
Okay. Tom?
I was just we will include John or someone, one of the professionals that's on with us tonight, right? Will be met at the site. Is that what you're thinking?
Of course, I hope so.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
I thought perhaps you were suggesting individual type visits, which would be.
I think Bob's suggestion is a good one. We'll go do our site visit and see if it's something that we're comfortable with or something that we need to get some help with.
One thing, we're trying to get this onto a schedule. It will be, we will welcome you guys do the safe site visit. We'll just warn you about the ice snow right now and those grades, that there's pretty steep grades on that area. So we just need to be very careful when we have people on the side and just walking around trying to get into the woods. Again, we just need to make sure that if you guys do the visit, you get the proper boots or anything like that if you're gonna try to walk on the snow.
Sure.
That area, as I say, it's a pretty steep drop already existing there, and it's fairly dangerous. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. Well, when Colleen at the office will arrange the site visit date with someone from your organization, we're not going out there just by ourselves.
Yeah, and you can do they can do that directly with me. I'm the contact on site, so
Okay.
I'll be there on site.
Okay. So we'll do that within the next, week or so. So we can look at this again at our next meeting. Okay. Any other questions from the commission? Any questions from the audience concerning this particular project? All right, entertain a motion to continue to February 22nd.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, can you please stop sharing?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, all in favor, Jim,
Yep.
Tom? Tom?
I'll vote yes.
Okay, Bob,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Carl?
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, item 4, public meetings. 84 Otter Point Road. Installation of a mobile home with no grounds disturbance. So in accordance with provisions of Massachusetts general laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, a public meeting will be held on February 8, 2022 at 6:30 PM by virtual meeting regarding a request for determination of applicability submitted by Vincent Cross for the installation of a temporary mobile home at 84 Otter Point Road near Pequot Pond. Again, Carl, you visited this. Do you want to give us an update?
Sure. Yeah, what they want to do is put in a mobile home as a temporary residence while the main residence is renovated after a fire. So it's sort of an emergency kind of stopgap type of thing. What they're proposing is to put the mobile home in an area that's essentially sort of parking area, driveway type of thing. It will be about 75 feet from the nearest water, but it's on a point. So there's sort of no better place to put it. It will be on an area that's already disturbed, and the idea is just to put the mobile home down while they're renovating that area, and then remove it once the renovations are complete. So there will be no ground disturbance. They're just going to essentially drop the home, and then once they're done, they'll move it out.
All right, thank you.
Carl, do they have zoning permits? Did they mention that? Have they been approved by, is this lawful?
They didn't mention that, but so I was not there essentially to judge that, but to think about it in terms of our jurisdiction.
Mr. Cross
yeah.
is here. He's actually the owner of the property.
Oh. Mr. Cross,
Yes.
can you answer that question?
I did not apply for any zoning that I am aware of. This is going through my insurance.
Mr.
Yeah.
Cross, I'll ask Jay at work tomorrow whether you even need to go through zoning for that. And then
Thank you.
I'll email you if you need to go through zoning. I didn't even think of that. I apologize for that, but I will ask tomorrow, okay?
Colleen?
Yeah.
Yeah, for an emergency like this, it is okay. It's as
Yeah.
long as it's not long term, you know what I mean? Like long
Right.
term, as long as it's doing the construction and everything. So just so you know, I mean, you're gonna double check anyway, but for the city purposes, they just had to with us because it's close to the in the zone,
Right, right.
but for the city wise, it's fine because it's a, and they're trying to still stay on their property. You can't kick somebody off their residency.
Mhm. Yeah,
That makes me comfortable, Cliff.
Okay.
Yeah, the person I met with said that there's a 1 year,
Okay.
essentially a more sort of the window closes after a year. Although I guess if there's an emergency circumstance, there's an ability to extend that for a short period of time. But clearly the goal is to do it in a year or less.
So I think for our purposes, we can make a determination this evening.
Right.
Mhm.
Arlene can check with this about the zoning tomorrow.
Mhm.
Okay,
as far as the black water, just so you guys know, it is gonna be attached directly to the city sewer that's in the house. It will be wrapped with a heat tape, so there won't be any freezing. I asked that question, so.
all right, thank you.
Yeah,
Any
and that's all. That all has grinder pumps that gets pumped out anyway, so it's not
Which
a
will
septic.
be also heated, yes, yes,
Right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the commission? Any questions from the audience concerning this particular project? Seeing none, entertain a motion to close the public meeting.
So moved.
Have a second.
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, Jim,
Yep.
Tom,
Yes.
Bob, Bob,
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. All right, thank you. Good luck, Mr. Cross. And okay, so let's do the RDA. We have a motion on the recommendation.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that it be a -3 with the following conditions. That there be no ground disturbance. Number 2, there be no removal of trees. Number 3, the Conservation Office shall be notified when installation is complete. And number 4, Conservation Office shall be notified when the mobile home is removed.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
All right, any
I
further
would-
discussion?
Yeah, I would suggest we also reference the fact that this is an emergency so that it's not considered to be a out of the usual. What do you think about that, Jim?
I don't have any problem with it, but that is, that's not really a condition. It's just a condition meaning a particular activity. I mean, it is an emergency, yes.
Yeah, but the city, Carissa at the building department wouldn't allow it to go past a year anyway, and then that would be in her jurisdiction anyway. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
To remove that.
I'll not worry about it. Yep, I'll not worry.
Okay. Okay, seeing no further discussion, all in favor?
I need a
Jim?
second.
Oh, we need a second, sorry.
I'll second it.
All right, thank you. All right, all in favor, Jim,
Yep.
Tom,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
yes as well. All right, good luck, Mr. Cross.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Mr. Cross.
Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you. All right, item 5, enforcement, 226 Russellville Road.
This
Potential
one,
fire-
I'm not sure if I even should have had this one on there because this was part of that emergency cert that we issued. So I apologize for not taking it off there. Work has begun on it. And you said you drove out there, David. Do you need the photos?
Yeah, why don't you show them the two photos?
Okay, give me a second. This one might not be as pretty as the other one. Have to find where I'm at here.
We did hold off on the COC, right, David, on this one? We
That's
didn't
what we're
issue
gonna
the,
deal with next, yeah. Yeah, we'll close that out tonight.
So let me see if it will let me share this. Okay, so there's the first one, right, David? Is that one of them?
Right, so I parked in the driveway of 232. So this is on 226, but that's the catch basin that the city put in. And on the right, where you see the snow, there was this steady stream of water coming underneath the snow into that catch basin. And then it was going through a pipe. The pipe is angled to the lower right corner of this picture. And if we show the next picture.
Okay, all right, give me a second again here.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, hang on. I apologize. I knew this one wasn't going to be as pretty. Oh, it signed me out. Darn it. Hang on a sec. Oh, there we go. Oh, look. And it's only coming up. I'm sorry, Dave. In a second. For some reason, it's only coming up with. Now, minus. Yes?
Okay, that's great.
Yep.
Okay.
Still parked at 232, looking out my right window, and the pipe is going underneath the area in front of that large boulder. It's going underneath the straw there, and the actual outfall is on 240, the next house up. There's already an outfall in a culvert there from a previous approved project years ago. So the pipe is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Before you take that away, well, just think about this for another, I think for discussion. Tom's interested in that yellow house you see there and the two pieces of equipment in them.
yes, I would like to revisit that.
Okay, so just
Thank you,
keep
David.
just keep that in mind. All right, thank you, Colleen. Okay. So item B, 300 Union Street.
All right. So he contacted me stating that Ryan from RLA was actually going to visit on Friday. However, I got an email today saying that Ryan was a no-show. So my next step, I'm going to contact Ryan and see if that was true.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, item C, 277 Russellville Road. Tom, you visited this, I drove by there today, but I really couldn't see where the cutting was occurring.
Right. Is there, Colleen, can you bring up the email that I sent you a couple of days ago?
And hang on a second if I can find it.
It was just yesterday. Or maybe it was Saturday.
Where's the photos? What's the photo here? There we go. Okay, so hang on a sec. Let me get back on here with you guys. Share screen. Right, Tom, is that what you want him to see?
That's one of the photos. Yeah. Can you go back a little bit? It'd be like the last one, actually.
Okay. I'll stop sharing to do that.
While Colleen's doing her mastery, our concern was we were concerned the trees were being cut on this property. It's an old farm, and has a perennial stream that is in the back of the lot, and then it makes a rather sharp turn and defines his property, and then heads toward Russellville Road. I visited it, spent about an hour with the young man, and he explained that what Colleen has brought up, is what he's been working on. He's been trying, and this is very close to the perennial stream. This is probably maybe 10 feet away. It's incredibly hard to see from this photo, but if you look in the upper right corner, there's a tree that has felled. You can kind of see that it's fallen over. There we go. And if you come down to the bottom of that trunk and then go left, there's also a branch, a large log that has fallen. That's right in the center of the resource. That's the perennial stream. But at any rate, he's running his chainsaw down there, making noise, and caught the attention of a passerby or a neighbor. So I spoke to him. He's new. He has been there probably, he bought the home, I wish I knew. Could have been 6 months ago, not brand new, but kind of new to the property. He acknowledged he burns wood, said that what he's harvested here in this photograph, which was, that's all right.
It's back.
Yeah, but I'm glad you have that up, because while I was there, I told him a couple of things. I tried to explain that we do everything in our power as a commission to protect the 50 feet on each side of a resource area, such as the perennial stream in his backyard. I think he got that message, with the exception, I did give him my approval to go ahead and continue to clean up this trash, this pile of junk that a previous owner deposited there. But as we were talking, he points out these two trees. They're kind of leaning into each other. They're both very dead. They are within 10 feet of the wetland, but I said that, yeah, if it was me, I would take them down. So I'm hoping that you'll back me on that. What else have we got there, Colleen?
That was it. That was it. I only had.
Yeah, there were 4 photos, I thought. But bottom line is that this new landowner, young man, I think he will be a good steward to this property. So I'm asking the commission to endorse my visit and basically say, hey, by the way, he did cut down a tree. There was a tree that he was in the process of cutting down, rather large, but it was well outside our concern, well outside the protected zone that we worry about. So my plan is to have Colleen, with perhaps my help, write him a letter, thank him for letting me visit, explain the discussion that we had, which was basically stay 50 feet away, except for this one time cleaning up that junk pile, and contact the commission if you have any questions. So it's a rather pretty piece of property. Any questions?
Any questions or comments from the commission?
So I just want to, I received another email today from the same concerned party.
Yeah, with all due respect, I think we could pass on that, Colleen.
Okay,
And
all right.
I'll talk to that party.
Okay, all right, awesome. That's great. I appreciate that, Tom. Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
One concern I had is that for a perennial stream, our jurisdiction is 200 feet, not 50 feet. So I think if he, if he wants to keep cutting things there, he needs to do an RDA or something, so we have some documentation of what he wants to do.
And I told him the same thing, David.
Okay,
Not so much, he doesn't want to do cutting so much, but he did talk to me in a very preliminary way. And I encouraged him to contact us when he gets ready to design this. But he wants to put in a vegetable garden down, not in that area, but outside, buffering up, coming up next to the 50-foot line, which we do all the time. We just did it, 30 minutes ago. But I said, yeah, interesting idea. When you get serious about it, come back to the city. But he's not cutting. It's not like he's got a woodland in his backyard and he's taking down mature trees. There was none of that I saw.
okay. But technically, anything he wants to do within 200 feet of that river, he needs to get to us first. 50 foot, is our, point of no return for wetlands, but for a river or a stream, it's 200 feet. So, and that's quite a ways, farther away. So I think in the letter you send to him, that needs to be, brought out. I guess.
Have we ever been that harsh, David?
From Riverside, yes. I mean, we're more lenient with the outer 100, just like for a wetland, we're more lenient in the outer 50. But for
I'm trying to remember the project. There was a farm project where he had farmed there, right up next to the perennial stream. And then a new owner came in and bought it. And didn't we make like an exception, like a 10-foot, be nice for the first 10 foot, because it was his backyard. It was his property. I understand what you're saying. I know the regulations say 200 feet. I just am surprised that that we would want to be that tough.
I think it's for new disturbance. Obviously, if someone 50 years ago cut right up to the river, we can't tell them to plant trees or something. But I think it's for new projects. We need to be careful within the 200 feet that they ask us, and so we have it on record. It protects them as well, when they want to sell the property. So.
All right, I will reference such in the letter.
Okay. Anything else from the rest of the commission? Okay. Well, thank you. So I don't think we need an enforcement or anything right now. Just a letter will be sufficient.
Do we need to vote on that?
Yeah, let's, why don't you make a motion, Tom, so we can get it into the minutes.
Yeah, what did we send him? A letter, a cease and desist?
I did send it.
I'll make a
Yep.
motion. Yep, thank you, Colleen. I'll make a motion that we rescind the cease and desist order sent to this family. 277 Russellville Road.
Okay,
That's
have a
my
second?
motion.
Yeah, you have a second.
I'll make a friendly addition, perhaps, that it includes a reference to the fact that for anything within 200 feet of the stream, that he needs to contact us before he does anything. And then if that's good, then I'll certainly second that.
I'll accept that correction
All right,
or amendment.
all right. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Jim,
Yep.
Tom,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Carl.
Yes.
I'll vote yes. Thank you. Item 6, discussion. 0 Russellville Road, again, the Sheldons, a request for a certificate of compliance. As Colleen has noted in our notes here, the city attorney recommends that we do close this one out, issue the certificate. This way the homeowner can retrieve their bond. And if anybody else wants to, or if the new owner wants to do something with that property, then they need to start fresh. Again, nothing has been done on this property. The Sheldons sold it to a new owner. So we have a motion to approve the certificate of compliance.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
No, you need to make the motion. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'd like to make a motion that we issue a certificate of compliance for 0 Russellville Road.
All right, do you have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Tom,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Jim,
Yep.
Carl,
Yes.
Cliff.
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well. Thank you. Item B, 396 Prospect Street Extension, request for certificate of compliance.
This one was a little different. I forgot to post it on the website, so I emailed you all the information. We do have as-built for the septic system because the addition was never built. It was from 2013. She was hoping to extend it, but it expired a long time ago, so they can't extend it. I told them that they could submit a new NOI after this COC was closed.
Okay.
So, and I did email you the as-built and everything.
Yes, you did. Yep. Thank you. All right, do you have a motion to approve the certificate of compliance?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Jim,
Yeah.
Carl,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well. Item C, 301, 303 East Main Street. Again, request for a certificate of compliance. As noted, the as-bills have been submitted. There's no monitoring involved. So,
It's for the KFC that was just built,
okay,
just to
Thank
give you a
you.
reminder.
all right. All right, do we have a motion to approve the certificate of compliance?
Is there any outstanding issue with this, or is it all good? Okay. Then
Every
I'll make
time,
the,
my only
sorry, go
comment
ahead.
is, Bob, do you remember being out there for the site
Yes.
visit? Looking at that
Yes.
beautiful tree out front? That's the first thing that went. You know, we both hoped that, well, maybe they'll save that, but that's the first thing.
We couldn't get a guarantee, Tom.
We could not. But no, other than that, it looks like a traffic nightmare to me, you know, where they've got they've squeezed right up to the exit of that mall. But
Right.
as far as our part of the deal, I don't see an issue.
All right, so who's making the motion?
I will.
okay. And then I'll second.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Jim,
Yeah.
Tom,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Thank you. All right, item D, West Road, City of Westfield, DPW. Again, we've been talking with Casey and they've hired Levesque Associates to go over this with them. Again, the problem is there is a defined wetland that they want to drain out. So as you can see from the notes, they're going to work on that and file a notice of intent. So it may take a while for them to do that, but I think that's the right way for it to go.
Yeah, that does sound like the best path.
Right. I mean, if it was just a drainage ditch that was overflowing, it'd be different, but this is a jurisdictional wetland. So, okay, thank you. Item 7, other items. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of January 25, 2022?
I'll make a motion to that effect.
You have a second?
I will second that.
Any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor? Jim?
Yes.
All right, Tom,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cliff,
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well. Thank you. Item 8, commission discussion, regulations and procedures. I don't think we have anything there.
No.
Corner of Route 10 and 202 site walk. Well, this is for the Target.
Yes, yes. So I went to a roundtable and I contacted DEP just for the fun of it to see if they needed to file anything with us. Because although there is nothing mapped, they said it was best to just have the commission go out there and walk around just to make sure that there is nothing out there so that they don't find anything, you know, all of a sudden. So I've been in contact with PJ because I don't have any contact with the people from Target because I'm not part of their thing really. And he's supposedly getting back to me to get me contact information so I can contact them and say, hey, we'd like to do a site visit out there. Just so I might be emailing you guys to hit you up to go on that walk. So it's a big site. We can't see in, it's all wooded. You know, it's just best we go.
So they didn't hire anybody to look for wetlands, or did
Well,
they?
they have a consultant and everything, but DEP said it's best for us to go out there anyways, just take a walk. So,
It's kind of tough right now with the snow. It's hard to see where a wetland would be.
right. But
I-
they're kind of stuck right now because they're still with natural heritage trying to get through that
Okay.
mess. So, because that's a big mess there. So,
All right, I'm game.
okay.
Anybody else want to go for a walk?
Yeah, I'll try to make it too.
Now, is that just us or someone from the company going to be there to meet us?
I can arrange for somebody from the company to be there. That's kind of what I was, getting at, is to do just a site walk, but there's actually nothing's been filed with us. But again, DEP suggested just to cover everybody, we
Okay.
go.
Yeah, let's make sure there's somebody from the company there with us.
Okay,
So
I will.
We're not trespassing.
I will. Yeah.
Will there be maps or like a GIS for us, or
I
is there
can
any
actually send
guidance so
you.
we have reference, or?
Yeah, I actually have the plans. I can send you the plans. So just so
They're in
you
your
guys can
office,
look at
yeah.
them.
Or can you post that on our site where you can post things like that?
Yep, I can do that.
City site, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, item C, wetlands ordinance update. Yes, it's gone through its first reading at City Council last Thursday. It goes for a second reading at the next council meeting. And then if approved, it goes on to the mayor to sign it. And that'll be okay. So it's looking good. Item D, coordinator position. We're still applications. Jim and I are going to meet with Mr. Bishop, the personnel director, tomorrow to try to widen our search.
Is that, by the way, David, I have the time and everything, but did he confirm it?
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of the confirmation.
He
Okay,
did, yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
So it's 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Yes,
Okay, see you there.
okay.
Well, Jim, one of the issues that you raised that I'm interested to hear answers about are how our human resources department uses the internet. Sites like Indeed and we're headhunter type of electronics. Maybe they're way into it, and that's what I'm hoping you'll probe and
Yeah, that's something that Dave and I have talked about a bit.
Good.
And yes, I've got a list of sites, did a little bit of research on that. I had an opportunity to talk to MACC, got some information from them. And so
Okay, good.
I believe it's going to be a good informed discussion.
Yep. Good luck, David.
I just saw that and I was looking at the agenda for city council for last Thursday. And you're right, Peter, that there was a big push and the mayor allocated $20,000. But again, we've got, money that they can use as well. But Mr. Bishop is aware that, they need to figure out a different way of looking for people, using the internet more and more. And Jim's got some good ideas. So we're going to have a talk with him tomorrow and hopefully widen the search. Okay.
Quick question, David. You
Yes.
said you were working on maybe a backup plan. Is that still in the works?
Yes, it is. It hasn't been finalized yet.
Okay.
And hopefully tomorrow we'll know more about it. So, I can, once I learn something, I'll send it out to everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
So a screening committee, we don't have to do anything with that one either. So. Okay.
But,
I just-
thank you guys both for the effort on this.
Okay. Yes, Colleen.
I just have two more things. The MACC yearly thing is
Conference?
coming up.
Okay.
If anybody wants to do any classes with that, can you guys let me know by the end of the week? And also I need 4 people that are not Carl to come in and sign.
Okay.
Because
When?
Carl has already signed up for a class, so I kind of, they frown on when people sign their own schedules, so.
You need that this week.
I do, I need the MACC because it takes so long to go through the system. I'm trying to get it in as early as possible. It's, what is it, March 12th, Carl? Is that when it starts?
I think so. I think I have it right here.
This all
And
online.
actually, there are some fundamentals that start in March 1st.
Okay,
But I think the main meeting is the main meeting. It sounds right for the 12th. I don't have that right in front of me, but yeah, that sounds about right.
okay, so I need to get these in as soon as possible so that I can get it paid. That's all. So I need your answers by the end of the week. And again, I need 4 people that are not Carl to come in and sign it. So.
All right.
And David, let's remember to get back to the 2 earth movers at 226 Russellville Road, the yellow house.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know anything about them. So, I mean,
Nor do I, except I learned that they're not, I thought they were the cities and they're not.
no, they're not.
So unless Yellow House has asked, or unless somebody's talked to us in the past, they shouldn't be shoving dirt around in that sensitive area.
All right, we can find.
You want to see the picture again?
Sure.
I don't think that's necessary. It's just, it's right
Okay.
near where the drainage, where the water comes down the mountain behind them. They're doing something back there that they've even put up some kind of erosion controls, which, that's what made me think it was city work. So they, I guess they know what they're doing, but we don't know what they're doing. So it'd be my recommendation, we tell them to stop until we know what they're doing.
We had a project out there years ago that we approved. I remember that site. But I think it was for something a little higher up in the back. But yeah, we can check the records and then send them a letter.
Right,
Do you want me
thank
to
you.
send them a cease and desist if it's not approved? So say it was 2 years ago and they have
Okay.
an NOI, they're fine, but if it's,
We'll check
10
the
years ago.
GIS and see where things are and go from there.
okay,
So
all right. Okay,
What was the address again, please?
240,
Russellville?
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's right in front of that property right near the road is the drainage basin that the new pipe actually joins into.
Okay.
And then there's a culvert that goes under the road to the other side for
Is
drainage.
that part of Coles's old property?
It could be. I'm not sure about the name. But I know we were out there a long time ago. I remember walking that site.
In the corner of the dirt, I remember them.
Yep.
Corner of a dirt, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anything else? All right, then entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a second.
I'll
Second,
second.
Okay, all in favor? Jim,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cliff,
yes.
Carl,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Colleen, for all your work.